What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map in the red color, playing as Set. His name is ChronoJJ. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Odin. His name is OdinKing. Game number 2 was absolutely insane, with OdinKing's Chronos being able to take out ChronoJJ's Set. But game number 3, different game here. OdinKing going in with his Odin here against the Set of ChronoJJ. This is always going to be a difficult matchup for the Norse player. Whether or not you believe that this is unwinnable for the Norse, favored for the Egyptian, or slightly favored for the Egyptian, it's a fairly common consensus that Norse definitely has their work cut out for them in this matchup. As we do see, jeepers, that is a very aggressive priest right there. I'd never be game to do this, but ChronoJJ moves forward. He's going to be stealing those Gazelle away from OdinKing at the very start of this game. That's going to be absolutely huge for him as the Ulfsark scouts out the wrong way. It looks like he's not even going for the priests at the start, which is a surprise. There's also plenty of Zebra over here for ChronoJJ, as he's going to be moving those Gazelle all the way back to his main base. Now, for those of you guys who are wanting to become a budding Odin player, one thing you'll notice here that OdinKing did at the start of the game, which is very, very strong, is he actually chopped the wood down first. Now, this is there is a variant of this build, which is like the hyper modern build. It's like the Yoshi or Soup build, whichever one you want to say made this one first. Idea being, chop the wood down while hunting dogs is being researched. Gives you a little bit more resources in the early game, but also it means you don't have to build that second ox cart early, and you're only going to have one villager on the tree, chopping like 3 times before you need to get your ox cart out. In fact, I think that OdinKing could have taken this villager off already and put it over onto the food here and be completely fine. And also, if you're wanting to become a Set main of some variety, your aim playing as Set here is to effectively, in the archaic age, is to not build a second granary if it's possible. If it's possible to not build a second granary, you should not build that second granary. And this is why I would suggest sealing your opponent's Gazelle is a little bit overkill, but we'll see if he's going to be able to, if ChronoJJ is going to actually be able to advance here just off of the Gazelle he's managing to bring back to his home base as OdinKing moves back into his home base here and he's chucking that temple up. So after all is said and done here, Chrono gets the huge win. This is a huge win for Chrono, stealing Gazelle away from the Odin's side of the map. He's going to be having a really, really good time with all of these Gazelle in his main base, plus having his own Gazelle down the bottom of the map here that he could potentially eat. Now, the next question is going to be, what sort of a build is ChronoJJ going to be going for here? Looks like he's got 8 villagers on the gold, which looks to me like it's going to be a fast second town center. So we'll see how that's going to go as Freya coming through for OdinKing as well, as the Gazelle getting eaten up on this position. And we'll see if this is going to work out for OdinKing or if it's going to be too much. As the other thing is here that Chrono, he could also potentially go for early priest out here and go for a sort of shifting sands play onto the Zebra or onto the second hunt here of OdinKing. But he doesn't know that that's there. Alternatively, he could do that delayed, which is also a possibility. If you build the town center first, get yourself some priests later, shifting sands onto that location and get some real serious damage done, as all of the Gazelle here have been stolen and the priest's going to be moving back home as this Gazelle still getting eaten on this position with only a handful of villagers eating these Gazelle. They're completely fine here, as you do indeed see the vision here, the units coming through. And it looks to me like Chrono is indeed going for the shifting sands onto this position to steal this town center. He's going to be grabbing that one incredibly fast here. The question is it going to be fast enough, as that Pharaoh is not empowering? There we go. Starting to empower the Valkyrie coming through here to check this one out. With having 8 villagers on this, it's very, very tough to stop the town center from coming up. We also see a barracks coming. Got to be careful of forest fire. that barracks will fall to forest fire if OdinKing wants to do it, but he's just dropping it down for the time being there as a body block here to stop the town center from getting targeted down. And now ChronoJJ has himself a second town center, 4 minutes, 56 seconds into the game. OdinKing, on the other hand, is on chicken. This is as bad as it's going to be for OdinKing in this matchup. He can't move over onto this hunt, too afraid of the shifting sands. Now the town center is here. He still can't do it. ChronoJJ building the barracks up on this position. This is going to be fine, but he might lose it to forest fire. And I think that this sort of a forest fire maybe is too dangerous for OdinKing to want to cast because it opens up his gold mine as well. As the villagers here eating the gazelle, Chrono has gotten himself up a monument in his main base. He just has the one monument for the time being. As the villagers now moving over onto the gold mine here, Chrono can eat himself chickens and everything else. He can make himself gazelle here to start the classical fight as best as he possibly can. And we'll see how it's going to go. He can start making axemen as well out of the barracks in a very, very good position after all is said and done. As the Valkyrie raiding cavalry do indeed decide to take the barracks out here. We'll see if Chrono can empower it back up with the villagers repairing it or not. As maybe Chrono tested this. He knows. It's going to be close. No, it doesn't go down. Chrono holds the barracks, but the town center is completely open here. More gazelle getting trained out here for ChronoJJ. I'm not sure he knows you can auto queue the gazelle. All you have to do is have an auto queue hotkey and you can make the gazelle pump out there on auto queue. I think that was I guess you would say that Ensemble Studios didn't think about auto queuing out of the Pharaoh. So I think it's the only unit that can build units that you can't manually auto queue. So it's definitely a bug of some sort or a missed feature. But yeah, you can obviously use the auto queue on the Pharaoh with the hotkey. And you might even be able to add it in with a mod in your if you add it in with a UI change or something as well. Not sure. Anyways, barracks are up. Walls coming down over here, trying to prevent OdinKing from coming around onto this hunt. He has managed to get onto the lions here. He's trying to get close to this position. ChronoJJ is 50 population at this point, though. He's in a very, very good position as the wall's trying to come up. And the other thing is now this gold mine is completely open. 1,000 gold basically remaining on it. Does ChronoJJ have himself that second monument yet? No. Houses are still coming up over here. Lots of gold in the bank. Probably worthwhile building himself some priests here to try and deal with the Valkyrie and all of the favor that's coming through here for OdinKing. Look at the food and the gold. OdinKing at this point, I reckon he's going for a fast Njord here after all is said and done to try and take out this position. But the units here from ChronoJJ, they're getting some good damage done. Chrono's pulling back his Pharaoh, and Njord is incoming here for OdinKing as he is feeling like he needs that pressure to push forward in this game. And we'll see how it's going to go as the villagers on this food here, they're going to be getting taken off this as they're moving forward, going to be looking for potentially stealing the gazelle away from his opponent. The Wadjet will be in position to stop that as the villagers basically see. He's literally watching the villagers running down onto this position. OdinKing, here's the thing. OdinKing can distract with these villagers nicely, pulling the units away from the town center, allowing this timing attack to come through very, very brutally here as OdinKing's as ChronoJJ is now starting to get himself out some slingers. He does need to get himself out some priests here. If he's sniffing any sort of shenanigans here, we'll have to wait and see if that's the case as the units come through here. Try and take out those villagers as they're trying to pull back into the main base. There is still shifting sands available here for ChronoJJ as well. So as the units come through here to start targeting this down, Chrono does not want to be losing that Pharaoh at all. Good micro there from Chrono to pull back as the Mountain Giant coming in to take this position out. Walking Woods coming through here as well. OdinKing here, he's got to there's 13 villagers that can shank. Will we see a shifting sands from these units here or not as the army is out of position from OdinKing? It looks like ChronoJJ... Oh, he's already used shifting sands. Excuse me. He already used shifting sands. I'm big silly. Thank you, Team Twitch chat, for telling me how silly I am. As the villagers come through here to start shanking down the walking Achaea here. As the Pharaoh priest coming in to take out that mountain giant. Looks like the town center will indeed be falling here. As Chrono, he doesn't quite have the gold to put it back up straight away. The unit's going to be pushing in. OdinKing going to be having a strong attack coming through here as the Slinger is able to take down a handful of units, though these villagers have still not gathered anything for quite some time. A lumber camp coming down as well on this position. Villagers trying to grab the food on this position here as well, as Chrono can take the town center back up now if he so chooses, as the villager over here will indeed be getting taken out. And we'll see what ChronoJJ can do moving forward in this game here. As OdinKing, he's gotten the town center takedown. The mountain giant's got 376 HP remaining. The slinger, there's not the slinger, but the throw and axeman coming up to put a hill fort to defend the gold mine over here. And ChronoJJ, he's got the resources to put that town center back up. But the question is, does he want it? Because he could just go heroic age here and just say, no worries, I'll cut my losses on that town center. I've dealt with your heroic age god power, can get my own heroic age god power out. And it could be a decent choice here. We see a barracks coming up, so it looks like ChronoJJ, I'm not sure if he's going for the town center. It looks like he's not, but let's see how it's all going to go. As his food income should start skyrocketing with all the villagers on hunt on both of these locations here. For the time being, 13 villagers there. We do see the herdables in the main base yet again all over the place from ChronoJJ. Does he have an armory up anywhere? I don't see the armory. There's another barracks coming up, and I'm a little bit confused about exactly what ChronoJJ's plan is here. As with the hill fort, there will be Jarls coming for him. There will be Huskarl coming for him. And while it's a very big economic advantage at this point for ChronoJJ, he's got to remember army quality is a big deal here for the Norse. So we see some more armories, or an armory now coming up, as Chrono definitely has his sights set on the heroic age. The question is going to be, will Chrono pick Nephthys, or will Chrono pick Sekhmet? Those are going to be the big questions that ChronoJJ is going to have to tell us here, as the mountain giant comes in onto this position, taking down some houses with the priest coming through. 40% pierce armor, not a whole lot here for the mountain giant, but it does have 1200 HP, so it stays alive for quite some time, even against the priest. As the mountain giant retreats away, the houses need to get replaced here as well. There's units coming through here for OdinKing. But the thing is, for OdinKing, I mean, the Huskarl, they're actually not that useful against the Greek, not against the Greek, against the set classical fight, as opposed to the Greek classical fight, because axemen exist. So you actually really be wanting Jarls at this point against this army. Most likely, Jarls and throw an axeman would be a really nice way to play it. As the mountain giant swinging around, still looking to push back into the main base of ChronoJJ, getting some nice harassment here. As Nephthys is the god of choice for Chrono, as he can start thinking about a town center, or actually a mythic age wouldn't be a bad idea here either for ChronoJJ, because if he hits mythic age, tornado onto this town center, could be game over for OdinKing at this point. But OdinKing here, he is getting himself more and more villagers. He's catching back up. Villagers getting caught out all over the places. These villagers here, they've got the wall up. The OdinKing Hersa does manage to take down 2 of those low HP villagers nicely before sacrificing itself for the greater good for OdinKing's empire. As OdinKing comes through with the Jarl, going to be sniping these units as best as he possibly can here. As the mountain giant getting pulled back for the time being. Villagers just about to finish up on this zebra, can move over onto the gold mine here or onto the gold mine here. There are some giraffe coming through as well that that ChronoJJ can eat if he so chooses. As the units on this position look like they are slightly getting caught out, as Chrono here is deciding to just not take the fight, instead take the damage and retreat. I reckon with some micro, actually probably not. Chrono probably smartly retreating at this point, as a Migdol stronghold is up, meaning chariot archers will be able to be built. Chrono floating a lot of resources at this point here, as he's pulling back up to this position to sit underneath the Migdol stronghold and stay defensive. You do see a longhouse coming down there, attempting to block the units from retreating, but not going to be able to do so as everyone pulls in underneath the Migdol stronghold, and OdinKing has to retreat back. Meanwhile, in this position, the Scorpion Man going to be on for some raids. The classic Scorpion Man raid. Basically 3 hits a villager, I think. or a dwarf, or go straight after the ox cart. That's a smart move there from ChronoJJ. It can be really, really tough to deal with this one as the Norse player, and it does end up going down as Ancestors also getting dropped in onto this position, going to be idling all of those dwarves there as well. Thank you for the tier 1. That's the 17 months better claw. Appreciate you, my friend, as the Scorpion Man going to be retreating back. Units on this position here defending as best as they possibly can for ChronoJJ against OdinKing's push in here. As the Priest going to be able to take out those walking woods trees as well. Chariot Archers getting some good damage done from afar as the army composition here from OdinKing. Not the best comp to deal with Slinger Chariot Archers here from ChronoJJ. As Chrono here is eating up he's even eating the crocodiles as well in his main base. As he's still trying, is he getting a market up? More barracks coming down here as well. I don't see a market anywhere just yet for ChronoJJ. One house not. Well, that's a lot mining camp. Never mind. As the Ancestors still getting some more value over here. Dwarves going to be returning back onto this position. Where's the ox cart? There's an idle ox cart there for OdinKing that he could be getting. As the town center going to be coming back up onto this position. The Ancestors chasing the dwarves away. 17 dwarves onto the gold mine here. 46 villagers for ChronoJJ to OdinKing's 37. As the Chariot Archers looking to push up here to take out even more of these dwarves. I think ChronoJJ is just in search of ox carts at this point, but he needs to not sacrifice those Chariot Archers so easily there. And maybe another wall here from from OdinKing wouldn't go astray. A wall here and a wall here to defend that gold mine would be a nice way forward here for OdinKing to keep his position nice and solidified. But now the army composition from OdinKing is starting to look very, very scary. He's got the Huskarl, he's got the Thrown Axeman. It's mostly just archers here. There's a handful of, or a Axeman there that's getting cleaned up very, very fast. ChronoJJ needs to retreat away. He's getting himself the Shadoof to start farming here, not wanting to go for any sort of hunting strategies. As the Chariot Archers pulling back for the time being here, as the Huskarl breaking through onto this position. And OdinKing going to have to retreat back with his units at this moment, as ChronoJJ yet again says, I'm just going to move up and raid this. You can snipe the ox cart here. It's got 180 HP with the 9 chariots. You can put even more pressure on. Sometimes it's worth it to just put 3 ox caravans out onto that when you're playing against a player like ChronoJJ with his tenacity, his ability to raid comes through. We see the Huskarl is here with the Jarl to take this one out. ChronoJJ not really paying attention to this. He will be able to take out those Jarls relatively fast here. As we see some nice micro there as well from Chrono and OdinKing to boot. And Chrono will have to retreat back here for the time being. There's more barracks coming up in this position. As it looks like ChronoJJ's kind of tech push here has slowed down. He's putting the buildings up everywhere. He's going to have tons of barracks. The question here is, OdinKing, after he gets all these farms, the big weakness is that he doesn't have access to winter harvest. So his economy off of the one town center that he has right now is going to be really, really weak. He's not going to be able to push to that mythic age like you see a lot of the times a Skadi Norse will be able to do. So ChronoJJ's got all the value where that's concerned. The other thing is that, I mean, OdinKing could put everyone onto gold. All these dwarves on gold. 24 dwarves on gold is a lot. So a market going up and buying food here is an option here for OdinKing. And he could go for Fimbulwinter. He doesn't need to go for the tier. He's not that far behind on economy. And I think that a Ragnarok might be a little bit too overzealous, as ChronoJJ's villagers idle all over the place here. As the Chariot Archers searching around for stuff to do. Villagers here from ChronoJJ keeping themselves alive for the time being here. Just juking around, doing as best as he can. Grabbing in the middle town center here will give him access to the forward town centers and everything else. Meanwhile, still idle villagers here for ChronoJJ. 9 idols. Better to be idle than dead, I guess. As eventually he'll check those and get those to do something, as the dwarves getting pulled back, as the Chariot Archers returning back onto this position. Nice play there. But tier does end up coming through here after all is said and done from OdinKing. This is going to hurt ChronoJJ very, very badly. He's got, I mean, he doesn't actually have any villagers on this town center or this town center. So it's just his home town center that's going to be feeling pain as the farm's getting thrown up here. And Chrono, he's losing units really fast over here from the Huskarl. Huskarl's pushing in. Huskarl and Chariot Archers both move at the same speed, so they can, and they take out the Chariot Archers so easily. As we see Chrono retreating away here. The siege works coming up on this position. Migdol Stronghold coming up here as well for ChronoJJ. That will help defend this town center from a Fimbulwinter cast here as well. And now we see some Giraffe of Sets coming out for Chrono to eat those underneath this town center to help him out, to boost his food income as his farms are up on this position as well. It's an interesting decision to go for both farms and the Giraffe of Set here. Generally speaking, the way I see it is if you build farms, you're saying, I want to use my favor strictly for basically Avengers or Phoenix or technological upgrades. If you build farms. If you build Animals of Set, you basically don't want to build farms and you want to go into a mass wood army. As there's the Mythic Age hitting for OdinKing. Fimbulwinter getting cast. One wolf pack over here. One wolf pack over here as well. Is the Pharaoh going to be able to defend that as the wolves drop into the main base as well? Will we see this top gold mine getting harassed? Yes, we will. So Chrono is in a very, very tough position economically here as the hill fort getting dropped down onto this position. ChronoJJ going to attempt to push through here to take this one out as we do see these wolves have been pulled in to this position. Not going to be that big of a deal here as more barracks getting thrown up over here. Axemen, Chariot Archers, the composition of choice here as the Fimbulwinter Wolves taking down the town center and the Migdol Stronghold over here. Chrono's on top of putting his villagers back to work immediately here as ChronoJJ has allowed this gold mine to get grabbed. And Fenris Wolves, they can come out here for OdinKing, as we do see one Sea Shard manage to take down one temple over there, but OdinKing can go mass Fenris Wolves. He's got his second town center up over here. Mass Fenris Wolves could be really, really strong. ChronoJJ as well could buy himself a ton of food here and try and get himself to that Mythic Age as well as the fortified town center is coming in. We are seeing raids coming through onto this gold mine over here as ChronoJJ is going to get caught out there a little bit. Meanwhile, units coming through for OdinKing. He doesn't quite have enough on this position to really take out the siege tower as it moves forward to take down the longhouses, taking out the actual military production facilities of a Norse player is actually a really, really strong way to play because it takes them so long to go up because they don't have the ability to just take a villager off of like their resources to rebuild their buildings to get taken out. So it's a really, really smart way to put the damage down or the production down of your opponent, of the Norse player there. From ChronoJJ, but he does lose that siege tower, doesn't actually manage to finish off the longhouse, and he's retreating away from these units, even though I believe he wins that fight with the Axemen and the Scorpion Man. But it looks like Chrono at this point here, lots of idle villagers need to get to work. He's got himself the Pharaoh in his main base, medium cavalry coming through for OdinKing as the Jarls coming in onto this position to town center will be able to come up here for ChronoJJ. At this point, it looks like he's currently pushed off gold kind of everywhere as a whole bunch of villagers moving up to the top side of the map there with the Jarl and the raiding cavalry checking this one out. See how that's all going to go. But Chrono is at 143 pop. OdinKing is at 130 pop. And the big question is going to be, can OdinKing push out and get himself a town center here? If he can, he's in a really good position to continue this game. If he can't, ChronoJJ will claim this win. As the raiding cavalry search it around, and we do indeed see those Fenris Wolves are out. And this is scary. Basically, you want to wait for 6. 6 is the magic number. 7 is better. And he's got the 6 trained. We have some priests in onto this location to take these wolves out here. And Chrono's going to have to figure out how is he going to be able to defend his gold villagers against those raids that are coming through for him. As the Fenris Wolves coming in, and walls are a good option here from ChronoJJ as he retreats back to try and deal with that. Iron Shield's coming through as well for OdinKing. He is spending his resources nicely in this game. Meanwhile, this Ulfjarl over here causing problems for Chrono. He's going to have to deal with that one as the villagers over here need to put walls up to keep themselves alive. He's putting the wall up on the back, but he's not getting that wall up on the front here. And ChronoJJ, he's going to lose a lot of villagers here as the Fenris Wolves breaking through to take those villagers out. Meanwhile, the units, though, for Chrono on the front, it looks like he doesn't care about his economy in the slightest. The villagers are going to be retreating back. The wall will most likely get up. That's so many villagers falling here. And, I mean, the majority of the villagers get away. The Fenris Wolves not going to be able to break through that wall unless they attack it, in which case they will relatively fast. But the villagers will be able to get away from there relatively unscathed after that huge population investment into that raid there. You have to remember that Fenris Wolves cost 3 population. 5 Fenris Wolves is looking at 15 population. It's a significant investment into raiding that OdinKing is doing on 2 town centers here, as Chrono still pushing forward, still trying to keep that Pharaoh alive in this position, retreating back here for the time being. Spearman coming through as well for ChronoJJ to try and hold on here, as the Fenris Wolves want to come in and join this fight. But the Pharaoh is here. Does it have funeral rites? No funeral rites, but there are a decent amount of hero units to deal with this, as the Fenris Wolves coming down onto this bottom position to target that yet again. We see the wall coming back up over here yet again from ChronoJJ. Still a wall here would not go astray for Chrono, as he's going to continue to get himself that gold. Meanwhile, we do see those dwarves making their way over onto this gold mine, but Chrono's got his eyes set on that, and OdinKing will be out of gold here after, if he gets pushed off of that gold mine. Villagers immediately retreating back into the town center. Nice play there from ChronoJJ. Good awareness as the siege tower pushing through. Pharaoh Priest taking down those Fenris Wolves nice and quickly here, as they aren't that strong with the numbers of just 3 here, and then going down to 2, they die even faster as the siege tower is cleaning everything up. The villagers coming over here onto this position as the mining camp is going to be giving away the fact that dwarves are over there. The Fenris Wolves coming back here for OdinKing to join in on the fight. He probably needs them here, in all honesty. If he can take out the Pharaoh at the very least, but also take out the priests, he should be able to clean these units up very, very easily here, as the siege towers coming through onto this position to take down the armory and everything else here. As the Fenris Wolves come in, they're going to start getting some damage done, but the priests and the Pharaoh... Oh, Pharaoh's misclicked a little bit there, unfortunately, for ChronoJJ, but 1 priest seems to be enough here, as the Pharaoh almost goes down for the Ulfjarl, but not just yet. Meanwhile, we still haven't seen any attempt from ChronoJJ to start attacking that gold mine, and now he sends the chariot archers over there. OdinKing's at 98 of 130 population. He's run out of steam completely in this game, it seems. He's got 77 villages. He's got a whole bunch of farms up. He's got himself flood control, but it's just not enough food to support what's going on here. And ChronoJJ, in ChronoJJ fashion, he's going to target the ox cart down first, and OdinKing is going to be in a lot of trouble. He's only got 187 gold remaining in this game, as the siege tower is getting cleaned up. The spearmen coming through to take out those raiding cavalry, those Jarls, and everything else as well. The dwarves retreating back here, and Chrono claims the gold mine. There's no other golds here that OdinKing can grab. He can get this one. He can sell resources for a little bit. He could start a trade route, but he's in a very difficult position here. 118 population as the spearmen countering those Ulfjarls very, very nicely. Generally speaking, when you see spearmen, you basically want to be making yourself Ulfsark or throwing axemen to take out those spearmen. They're generally the best option, not those cavalry units, but it can be tough to continue rotating through the units for both players to realize exactly what you need to do throughout the game. As the Pharaoh does pop out there, we'll be able to get sniped down with only 2 HP remaining there, sitting underneath that watchtower, being nice and safe as the watchtower does snipe the Pharaoh down. Spearman with the heavy spearman upgrade in a nice position. Dwarves moving out across the map. This wall was not finished off here by Chrono for whatever reason, as the dwarves are going to attempt to make their way over onto the corner of the map or something to find another gold mine here. Horus now on the way for ChronoJJ, so he'll be able to tornado this town center to take it down. He won't even need the siege here. That's going to put a stop to all of the farms on the town center, as well as the dwarves cannot make it out of their main base here to get a gold mine. Tower goes down over here. Heavy chariots coming through as well for ChronoJJ as the spearmen coming in to start getting a little bit of damage done. OdinKing doesn't have himself the Mason's upgrade, so that means the town center here will die most likely to the tornado coming through as heavy cavalry comes in for OdinKing. 109 of 120 population. He's got himself set up over here relatively well in terms of buildings. More buildings coming down, but no gold in the bank. 55 gold for wood, 69 gold for food. Still worth it to start doing that trading and helping him out here as the dwarves still haven't figured out how to get through to the other side of the map here, as this wall is now getting finished off and stone walls will be getting completed here with 12 seconds remaining onto the mythic age here, or maybe a little bit more than 12 seconds, 15 seconds, whatever it is. As this town center here is about to be under a lot of pressure, and not only that, the temple will produce those rhinos and hippos. One thing for those of you playing at home, playing set or playing any god, playing Norse, any god when you got a forward base, as we do see the tornado getting dropped down immediately, OdinKing tapping out, is to drop the temple down on the front and delete that temple in the base, because it takes a long time for this population to get to your front here. Regardless, it's more important for set, because set's got the 2 population rhino, 1 population hippo, plus the Avenger, so it ends up being 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 population, plus the 4 or 5 population from your myth unit. So it's a lot of pop that has to move across the map, and if you just build a temple on the front, it's already in the fight. Obviously delete the one in your main base, but ChronoJJ gets the dub here. After all is said and done, OdinKing almost makes that comeback happen with the Walking Woods timing attack, but could not hold on. I think that the problem, or the biggest mistake here from OdinKing, was once he had those Fenris Wolves, was he went for the raids. And I don't think he needed to go for the raids. Once he had 7 or 8 of those Fenris Wolves, you can take out the main army, just focus down the Pharaoh, and yeah, you might lose 1 or 2 Fenris Wolves in that fight, but you kill all the units, and then you can make a push onto the town center with those Fenris Wolves to boot, killing off the town center really fast, and potentially he could have found his way back into this game by doing that. He definitely would have been able to grab this gold mine at the very least, and then you can go for the raids after you've set up and you have like more of an equal position. You can't be investing 15 population worth of myth unit into raids when you're already down 40 population. That's too much. And ChronoJJ manages to hold on here in this game and takes the series 2-0. If you guys enjoyed this one, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.